Assalamualaikum. My name is Putri Nur Syazwani binti Yahya, metric number 272420. We are the team of the developers of Malaysian government. We would like to pitch our tourism resort planning proposal. The destination that we chose is American Samoa. American Samoa is an officially territory of American Samoa, unincorporated territory of the United States, consisting of the eastern part of the Samoan archipelago located in the South Central Pacific Ocean. It lies about 1,600 miles northwest of New Zealand and 202,000 miles southwest of the US state of Hawaii. American Samoa is the result of the Second Samoan Civil War and an agreement made between Germany and the United States and the United Kingdom in the Tripartite Convention of 1899, in which Germany and the US divided the Samoan archipelago. The territory, which is part of Polynesia, includes the 6 Samoan islands. Samoa is its closest neighbor and self-governing country. Consists of the 9 Samoan islands west of the meridian. American Samoa includes the inhabited islands of Tutuila, Tau, Olosega, Ofu, and Aunu, along with an uninhabited coral atoll named Rose Atoll. The capital of American Samoa is Pago Pago on Tutuila. American Samoa's government is divided into 3 branches. The governor leads the executive, and the legislative branch is led by the FOBO, which consists of the House of Representatives elected by popular vote and the Senate represented by the village matai.
My name is Muhammad Azamuddin bin Muhammad Noor. My metric number is 273593. I'm going to present about potential tourism at American Samoa. First is habitat of forest bird. 20 species of land bird occur in American Samoa. From these, 15 are native resident, 1 is a wintry migrant, and 4 are introduced. All the species in American Samoa also occur in independent Samoa, with the exception of the collared kingfisher, which is replaced in independent Samoa by the flat-billed kingfisher. Second is Mosasae of southeastern coast road. The road twists and turns from the 1 George's Little Bay to the next. Most of them with village beside white sand beaches. Anu Island will be visible from the main road as you near the east end of Tutuila. The top of a small volcanic crater, Anu has a village near a famous pin quicksand pit. Third is National Park of American Samoa. Behind the unimaginative name is a park teeming with wildlife, covering 3 islands and miles of ocean. These celebrate reserve, protect reef, rainforest, and everything that inhabit this fragile ecosystem. Next is cultural uniqueness. The Samoan culture has developed over 3,500 years and largely with interaction with European culture. It was adapted well to the teachings of Christianity. The Samoan language is still in use in daily exchange. Besides Samoan language classes and cultural courses, all instruction in public school are in English. The basic unit of the American Samoa culture is the Aiga, means family. It consists of both immediate and extended family. Last is Alava Mountain. The best view is obtained from the top of Mt. Alava, which is reached in 2 hours following the hiking trail on the right hand side when driving from Pago Pago uphill. The trail continues at the other side of the mountain to the village of Vatia, ending with a very steep descent.
The type of resorts that can be built in Samoa Island. Resorts are known as complete destination and independent operation. Resorts in general supply various facilities and tourism services that covers recreation and relaxation. Other facilities and services covers conference, meetings, and business-related activities to fulfill the demand from diverse tourist segments. The resort type may depend on the seasonal destination, which is winter, autumn, summer, and monsoon. The climate of Samoa Island is tropical and humid. The southeast trade winds prevail, rain occasionally during the wet season, which is November or December to April, when severe storms are liable to occur. Typhoons occasionally cause widespread damage. So it is more advisable for the visitors to visit Samoa Island during summer, which is from May to October. Tourism has been an increasing source of foreign exchange with a steady supply of visitors to American Samoa. Size of resorts can be large scale, mid scale, and small and reclusive scale. I would say that the large scale resorts are the best option because we can witness that the tourism sector in Samoa Island is developing and can attract a large number of potential tourists in the future. Water shortage are common in Samoa Island because of the island's poor soil and limited watersheds, where wells and cisterns are the only water source for much of the rural population. Reusing water has now become central of a lot of businesses' sustainability efforts. Besides, the obvious advantage in decreasing your clean water demand is obtaining the liberty to use water out of any water restrictions or usage rules, and possibly saving money on your water bill. Rainwater tank prices are not even comparable to the money that they would save. It creates an environmentally friendly tourism. In my opinion, since our resort is new, it should be planned meticulously in order to function efficiently, as well as providing attractive environment to the tourists in order to minimize natural and social problems and also avoid repeat development.
So next is the government or public policy pertaining to American Samoas and development at the American Samoa. American Samoa government selected the Comprehensive Economy Development Strategy, or we call it CEDS, format for their development. The CEDS concept was designed by U.S. Economic Development Administration, or EDA, to help communities formulate comprehensive economy development strategies. American Samoa recognized that the industries it has dependent on the past might not be the industry on its future. The economic development task ahead will become more, not less, difficult. American Samoa vision for the future is not fundamentally different from the other people. People want better life for themselves and for their descendants. This means rising economic opportunity, education levels, and all of that which provides a better general standard of living. So the next one is American Samoa Development Goals. So the government listed at least 5 goals for their development. The first one is the government wants to reduce the gap between per capita incomes and GDP in the US and American Samoa. The second one is increase economy-based diversity for increased stabilities and rising economy opportunities. The third one is expand and upgrade American Samoa's education, training, and health institutions. The fourth one is preserve and protect the environment for the continued high quality of life. And the last one is build a US-based political status that includes Western political and economic traditions, Samoa customs, and language. So now we know that the economy of American Samoa is strongly linked to its top trading partner, which is United States, but opportunities exist for independent growth. So here are 5 recent development projects in American Samoa. The first project is reconstruction of the Satala Power Plant. In 2009, a massive earthquake in the Pacific generated a powerful tsunami that completely disabled the Satala Power in Pago Pago, within 60% of the island's energy. The American Samoa Power Authority contracted to design and construct a more energy-efficient power system that will resist natural disasters. The second project is small vessel dock in Pago Pago Harbor. Much of American Samoa's economy is powered by tuna canneries, so it makes sense that harborside development will be profitable economic course. The dock was finished in 2015 and allows small fishing boats to offload fresh fish to be processed and exported. The third project is Solar City Solar Power Project. So in 2016, SolarCity assembled a solar power and battery storage. The grid can generate 1.4 megawatts of solar energy and has 6 megawatt hours of battery storage. The next project is Tourism Development Project. Of all the recent development projects in American Samoa, the rehabilitation of the old Rainmaker Hotel site stands to do the most to keep visitors coming back to the territory and attract new ones. The new hotel going up at this site is planned to be at least 3.5-star hotel with 250 rooms. So the last project is water infrastructure project. The SPA is using the funding for infrastructure development that will improve drinking water quality and prevent water pollution.
My name is Norfatia binti Azizan, metric number 263778. I will continue to present about the tourism planning process of American Samoa. There are 8 phases of tourism planning, which is the first one is study preparations. During this study, we found that there's tourism potential at the Mount Alava located at the Pago Pago Tutuila Island. Therefore, we decided to develop Tutuila Island as one of the tourism attractions, especially the resort. Tutuila Island is very rich of the nature and the culture. Before we proceed, we need to understand the current developments at Tutuila Islands and the government's policy about American Samoa. Secondly, our goal is to develop a resort and bring tourism experiences in American Samoa. Our objective is to plan and organize projects that will enhance the tourism activities at Tutuila Islands, to manage and create projects that will improve Tutuila Island Resort as the best resort, and to introduce Tutuila Islands to both local and foreigners as a tourism destinations. Thirdly, surveys, where the data was collected through the qualitative method. In this respect, the team was fortunate in having access to the range of reports, studies, and other documents covering the key topics, as the time for the generations of primary research was limited. A starting point was rereading and re-evaluations of the midterm review of the Samoa Tourism Development Plan 1992 to 2001. Fourth, the data that we analyze will be done in displaying collected data using the bar charts, pie charts, and other graphs. Fifth, plan formulations. As all the analysis of primary and secondary data had been done, we come up with the completions of initial plan and concept of the development. Sixth, recommendations. As the result from the initial policy and the plan formulation, we recommended to provide a guide for a developer to understand what actions are needed in implementing the development plans of resort in the Tutuila Island. Moreover, we also recommend to prepare with the strategic and actions for the developments of Tutuila Island. Seventh, implementations, where before we proceed, we need to get approval from the Tutuila Island authorities, such as local chief of Tutuila. They call it as Matai. And then we can only begin the resort developments after getting approval. Lastly, monitoring, as this is the last step where we need to evaluate the plan execution, and if necessary, reformulating strategy can be done. We also need to monitor the resort developments, as it needs to be finished on time, and we need to obey the government schedule, and also this development must not disturb the society and the environment.
Lastly, this is the Gantt chart for American Samoa tourism planning. Below shown is the possible progress scenario which we will take 1 year, which is 2022, to do the planning. For the phase 1, we will create an initial report from January to February. Next, we will continue the phase 2, which is the data collection on March to April. Then, from May to August, we will conduct an analysis and synthesis of the result planning. Lastly, for the fourth phase, which is recommendation and summary, we will do on September until December of 2020. With that, we conclude that American Samoa is the best place that we can build resort in order to build a tourism attraction in this destination. We hope that you can give feedback for this presentation in order for us to implement this proposal successfully. Thank you.